What lurks beneath our feet in London? What lives under the sewers? Is it just waste? Is it just a load of, dare I say it, shit? Or is there more under there? Well, that's the subject of what I want to talk about today, and it's something that I cover on my new tour, Sinners, Saints and Saviours, my tour of the herstories of Southwark and London Bridge. So behind me there's an image. You can see there's a pig, and there is a tunnel with water, which is meant to represent a sewer. So believe it or not, in the 19th century, there was a very well-known rumour going around that in the sewers there was a monstrous race of black-furred hogs that were very ferocious and cannibalistic and mutant. And they were known as the black swine of the sewers, believe it or not. Now, the origin from this story was that a pregnant sow had escaped from a butcher's and had somehow got down into the sewers when they were digging them out, basically. Now, you'd probably imagine if a pig got down there, either it gets rescued and brought back up somehow or gets washed out, or it dies down there, pretty much, wouldn't you? But no, apparently this pregnant sow actually gave birth to a litter of piglets down there, and then they all obviously interbred over the years and just produced this mutant race of offspring that terrorized anyone that would go down into the sewers. But who would go down into the sewers anyway? And where did this idea even start? Well, that brings me to the Toshers. So, the Toshers, who were they? Well, they were sewer hunters. So they were men that would go down into the sewers and basically, search through the shit, literally, the sewage, for any coins or anything of value, any scrap bits of metal, anything that they could sell on for a price. There's an image behind me of a sewer hunter, or as they were known, a tosher. You might know the expression, it's a load of old tosh, and it's a load of old nonsense, and it comes from this actual job. A really nasty job in 19th century England. It was illegal, and the men often encountered many hazards down in the sewers, as I'm sure you'd imagine, not least drowning, sometimes the fumes from the feculence and the fetid air from all the sewage would actually knock them out, knock them unconscious. The men could often get lost down there. You've got to remember that there were no lights, and they were just carrying lanterns, and if their lanterns died, and probably suffer a really awful death, quite frankly. It was also very easy to fall and maybe break an ankle or something. So the story, unsurprisingly, of the black swine did originate with these toshers. And, it does make me think, was it a way of explaining, in more creative ways, I suppose, the occupational hazards of being a tosher? Not to be confused with tossers, by the way. That's something quite different. Although I'm sure you can get a fair few of those down the tunnels of London. But it wasn't just confined to the folklore of the toshers and the stories that they told each other. Somehow this legend made its way into the public sphere because a journalist called Henry Mayhew wrote about it in a very influential book about London's poor in 1851. And then it became the subject of an article in the Telegraph, no less. Now, the question is, of course, is there any truth to this story? Well, it's not completely implausible that a sow found her way down into the sewers. I mean, at this time, before the sewers were properly completed and when they were sort of being dug out, and also prior to that, when there was just kind of open sewers and ditches and things like that, it was very easy for an animal, for livestock, to somehow find their way down there, or maybe get trapped down there or lost down there, But the idea that there then bred a race of mutant animals is slightly more implausible, and also the fact that we've never found, there's never been skeletons or any kind of grunting sounds heard, like by passers-by coming from the ditches themselves and the sewers themselves. There just aren't enough sightings to warrant that it's true. It's very likely apocryphal story and part of legends and folklore invented by the Toshas. You've got an image there. There's a piece of art by, is it Ingmar Druing? Yes, from Google Arts and Cultures, on a giant pig down in the sewers there beneath London. But who knows? I mean, the thing is, we can't get down into the sewers now. And, you know, only really engineers and maintenance men can get down into the sewers of London. So how do we know what's down there? There could be all kinds of things down there, including supernatural or monstrous entities. I do actually talk about another one of these on my new tour, Sinners, Saints and Saviours, of a slightly more feminine variety, if you like. So if you'd like to learn more about what is beneath our feet in London, then do come along to Sinners, Saints and Saviours, which will be launching on the last weekend, the bank holiday weekend of May. So that will be the 24th and the 26th. And we're selling tickets for both those dates. So get booking straight away. The 24th is an evening tour and the 26th is an afternoon tour. So you've got two options there. And yeah, I can introduce you to other folk tales and folk legends of the London sewers. Thank you so much, and I shall be back shortly with another video.